everybody, and welcome back to the channel. So we got an exciting video today. We're gonna compare the Arc Ultra with the Subgen 4 versus the old Arc with the Subgen 3 to see if there is any big differences between those two combinations, so to say. Before we do that, we're gonna just do a plain simple time lapse of the unboxing of the Subgen 4. We don't want to waste any time with the boring unboxing, so I'm just gonna do a time lapse of that, and then I'm gonna show you a side by side with the Subgen 4 and the Subgen 3 versus the Subgen 4 to really see if there is any major differences other than the color, of course, or the color scheme, the matte finish versus the glossy one. And then we're gonna connect that. By the way, there has been a new speaker update as well, the 16.4.4 for the Arc Ultra. I did that today, so hopefully maybe there is some changes in the sound. Who knows? I don't know. We're gonna see that and see if there is any changes in the sound for the Arc Ultra as well. There was someone pointing that out yesterday even. I think this speaker update was released yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, but yeah. So let me just do a quick time lapse of the unboxing of the Subgen 4, then we're just going to compare those two side by side to see what the big differences is, if there is any difference. I don't think there is any difference between those two except the weight. The weight is lighter on the Subgen 4, I think around 4 kilos or something like that, if I'm not wrong. So yeah, let's do that and connect those and set that up afterwards. Let's go. So guys, here we have it, the new Subgen 4 in the new matte black finish. I will tell you one thing, I love the new color. It looks amazing. Not only does it look amazing, but I have touched it so much without leaving any fingerprints at all. The only thing I would worry about this one is bumping it to something or scratching it, because those scratches I don't think will look good at all on this color, but you will not see any fingerprints on this one. That's amazing. Compared to the glossy one, I have a lot of scratches on that one and it leaves fingerprints everywhere. And then we got the white one as well, and that one you cannot see any scratches because of the color. But I will tell you one thing, as soon as it gets a little dust on it, you will see every little particle of dust when it comes to the white one. But yeah, this is the black one. This is the new Subgen 4. Like I said, it looks amazing. So let's check on the side of the Subgens to see if there is any difference in the buttons. Pretty much look the same as the Subgen 3, as you can see. This is the old Subgen 3 and this is the new Subgen 4. Pretty identical to the buttons, nothing new there. Everything looks pretty much the same. I would say that it's still heavy. I was thinking that 3 or 4 kilos or whatever that weight difference is gonna be a lot, but this still weighs a lot, I will tell you that. As you can see from the side, it's pretty much the same size, and above it pretty much the same, not much of a difference. So it's still heavy, but the color, love it. As you can see from this angle, looks amazing. I really love the new color. So that was the unboxing and side-by-side comparison of these three subs. So let's just connect these. Let's connect the Arc Ultra with the Subgen 4 and do a test of that first before we connect the Arc and the Subgen 3. Let's go. And guys, as you can see, we have added the Subgen 4 to the Arc Ultra. It's all done. I'm just going to show you that we have that Arc Ultra with the Subgen 4, and what we're also going to do is go into manage, about my system, and as you can see, all my speakers are on 16.4.4. So we got two 5s, the ARC Ultra, the Subgen 4, the one sub, the one Era 300 and the other Era 300. So the things we're gonna try is already, but once I connect the other ARC, the old ARC, I'm gonna update that as well because that has not been updated. But other than that, as you can see, sub 4 and ARC Ultra is on 16.4.4, so we got the latest update on that. So what we're gonna do now is customize it a little bit. We still have the ARC customized. The sub, we're gonna have it on what we are usually have it on, which is I have mine on +4. I used to have it on +6, 7 and 8, but many people commented about that and asked me to reduce the sub a little bit because it was disturbing when you guys was listening to the audio. But we have it on +4. If that is disturbing, I'm gonna reduce that even more for you guys if that is what you want. But +4 is what I always use when I watch a movie or TV show, whatever that is. We have it on +4, and height channel for the ARC is on +7. So we're gonna use the same settings when we connect the old ARC with the Subgen 3 as well. Speech enhancement is on high. So yeah, exciting stuff. We're gonna try it out for the first time for me. I don't know if this is gonna be the first video for you guys. There is a lot of videos out there. People are already trying them out, but I don't know if I'm gonna be the first ever to show you what a real life test is. I always use real stuff from HBO Max or Disney Plus or whatever that is, real Dolby Atmos, so you can probably experience it. I know YouTube doesn't have real Dolby Atmos once you listen to it, but it still sounds amazing, even though it is not real Dolby Atmos. But I'm trying to use the real stuff so you guys can experience almost the same thing when you're watching it. It is what it is. But yeah, let's do a test. So what we're gonna do first is we're gonna do 2 tests with the ARC and the Sub Gen 4, 2 video tests. So we're gonna do one speech where they talk a lot, a dialogue scene, and then an action scene. So I have a scene in mind that I'm gonna try out. It's from the movie Prey. First they talk for like a minute, and then it's an action scene where they are fighting the predator. So we're gonna try that scene. You know what? We're not gonna do 2. We already know what the scene it is, so skip what I said earlier. We're just gonna do one scene where they talk and there is action, so we can experience that, both of it in the same clip, so to say. So yeah, let's go. Let's try it out for the first time, for me at least. Let's go.
See your face.
What do you think drove the possums our way?
and that was the Arc Ultra with the Subgen 4. Let me just say that adding that sub makes the sound and the feeling and everything else so amazing. I think that the Arc Ultra and the Arc is good and amazing by itself, but adding that sub just completes everything. I think it makes a whole difference in the feel of a movie or a TV show, wherever you're gonna watch. That sub is something special, something really special. I love the Subgen 3 and the Subgen 4. I think, if I'm gonna be honest, the feel was pretty much the same as the Subgen 3. There is not much difference in the power or anything like that. Like I said, I push mine to +4, and that is how I watch my TV shows. I've had my second sub disconnected sometimes, but I just use one, so I know the feeling of just one, and it's pretty much the same feeling. So if you're wondering if there is more power or anything like that in the Subgen 4, no, it's not. It's pretty much the same sub. Only difference is the color. Now, the update that has been released on the Arc Ultra, it didn't make any difference in the sound. It sounds the same as when I tested it yesterday. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna disconnect the Arc Ultra and the Subgen 4. Not disconnected, but we're just gonna replace the Arc and connect one of the subs instead, the Subgen 3s, to compare them. And let me just say, I had some problems before, but usually I just, when I connect something new to the, when I'm just gonna connect something new to my setup, I restart my router always, because if I don't do that, then it's gonna be trouble and error trying to find whatever that is that I'm adding. And I always have my Arc wired with the internet cable, because other than, if I don't do that, then it's just gonna be a hassle to connect everything else. And I have my Arc always wired to my router. So that's what I wanted to say. Let's move on, and let me just connect the Arc and one sub, and I'm gonna show you in the app that I am connected with that, and let's try it out. Let's go. So guys, we have the Arc connected, so let's see. And I just updated it as well. It needed an update as well. So as you can see there in the living room, we got the Arc and the sub we have connected to it. So I'm going to show you that I have connected the Arc and the sub. So what we're going to do now is look at the, we're going to push it to the same settings as we had on the Arc Ultra. So loudness on +5 and +2. Sub audio is going to be on +4. We got height on +7. That is going to be speech enhancement on. So that's the settings. Let's try it out and see what the difference is. Let's go.
See your face.
What do you think drove the possums our way?
and that was the ARC and the Sub Gen 3. Let's talk about the subs first. The subs pretty much have, or it has, the same punch and the same power. I didn't feel any difference, like I said before. It has the same amazing bass, whether it's coming from the Sub Gen 4 or the Sub Gen 3. If you don't have the Sub Gen 3 or any subs right now, I would go with the matte finish. It looks awesome. It really is an amazing color. Unless you want the white one, it's also amazing. The glossy one, I would stay away from that if you don't own any subs, or if you can find it cheap on Facebook Market, I would buy the glossy one. Maybe I will even sell my Sub Gen 3 glossy and buy the Sub Gen 4, who knows, maybe in the future. But for now, I don't know if I'm gonna keep it or not. We will see about that. Maybe if I'm thinking about buying a TV for my bedroom as well, so I will maybe move one of the subs and buy a Beam 2 or something like that for the bedroom to have with the sub. But yeah, as you can see, the ARC Ultra, it has two things that I want to talk about, or two things that I noticed right away. Speeches is crispier, or whatever you guys want to call it, but is it a major difference in speeches? No, it's not a wow factor on that still. It's 20% better on speeches, and those small little extra sounds that are coming from those extra drivers or tweeters or whatever that is from the ARC Ultra, I love that, especially those special extra sounds, like when horses are running around in the background, or dogs are barking, or right now when there was something going on in the bushes or something like that. That's also louder. Like I said, 15 to 20% on everything. The ARC Ultra is 15 to 20% louder. Now, is that a major difference? No. Like I said, I still love my ARC. It's still producing amazing sound. Like, I watch my movies in volume level that I just showed you. So 50 to 60% on the volume level is what I watch my movies at. Those of you that are watching your movies at a lower volume, let's say, I'm gonna do another test, by the way, because I had a guy writing to me as well saying that it's not really fair to push the volume levels at that level that I'm testing right now, 50 or 60, because every soundbar is gonna sound amazing. Both soundbars is gonna sound amazing pushing them at that level. So what I'm gonna do in my next test is I'm gonna disconnect the subs, and we're gonna do a test with the ARC and the ARC Ultra at lower volume. So we're gonna do a test between 25 to 35, something there in between. We're gonna have the volumes at, and then we're gonna see if the ARC Ultra really is that crispier than the ARC. At the levels that I'm watching it at, it's not major difference at all between the ARC Ultra and the ARC. There is a difference, of course. I'm agreeing with all of you guys out there. You can hear the speeches a little bit better on the ARC Ultra, but is it worth $1,000? That's up to you to decide if that's really what you want. If, like I said in my first video, if you haven't watched my two first videos, by the way, I will put them in the link in the description down below, so you can watch those as well. But I've said this in my first video when I tried the ARC Ultra for the first time. If you had the problem with the ARC, with the low volume and all that other bad stuff that happened to the ARC in 2022, then I totally understand your frustration, and you're thinking about buying something like the ARC Ultra, because that will sound way more and way better than your old ARC. But I didn't have that problem, so I cannot really say that most of you guys that are commenting and saying it's way crispier and it's way better and it's way this, maybe those of you that are typing that had that issue with your ARC, your old ARC. I don't know if that's the case, but for me, like I said, I watch my movies at this level that I just showed you, 50, and respect to my neighbor downstairs. That's how I watch my movies. So for me, I don't have any complaints about the speeches or anything like that. For me, I think it's been working great with the ARC. And now when I'm comparing these two, I'm still very doubtfully that I'm gonna keep the ARC Ultra or not. We're gonna keep doing more tests with these. We're gonna connect the surround sounds and all that to really see how beautiful and how good the ARC Ultra is when you're connecting the surround sound and all that. So we got more tests to do before I really see if I'm gonna keep it or not. But like with any other speakers from Sonos, like I've said it with the Era 300s as well, when Sonos drops something new, a new product, it usually needs at least a couple of updates before it reaches its full potential. So right now it's too early to say that the ARC Ultra is compared to the old one, like it's 15 to 20%. Maybe after a couple of updates it will reach 30, 35, who knows. And then I would say, yeah, it's way better than the old one. But for now, I would say, you heard it, you can go back and forth between the sounds. You will not hear major difference in the sound at all. It's not like a wow factor between talking the speeches and dialogues in the ARC Ultra versus the old ARC. Not much of a difference at all. So maybe for those of you guys, like I said, that had some issues with your ARC, maybe it's a big difference. It is a big difference then, because you will be amazed by the sound of the ARC Ultra. It really sounds amazing still. So in my next tests I'm gonna do is we're gonna connect. The first test is we're going to connect the surround speakers, the Era 300s. For those of you that has those, if you're wondering how it sounds with having Era 300s, ARC, Sub and Era 300s. And then we're going to connect one Sub Gen 3 and one Sub Gen 4 and add that to the setup as well. So we're going to do a video about that. And then for those of you that has the 5s, I have the 5s as well. So we're gonna connect the 5s, and I'm gonna do a video about, we're gonna do a video of that as well, so you guys can see how it works with the 5s as well, because there are still many people that are using their 5s still as surrounds. Amazing surround speakers, amazing. Especially when you have them on each side of the couch and the sound are just blasting right at you. Those of you that has the 5s know what I'm talking about. But yeah, so that's the next couple of tests. Sorry, man. Tomorrow I'm gonna be away from home, so I'm not gonna do any videos tomorrow, but on Saturday definitely we're gonna do another video. So tomorrow is not gonna be another test day. We're gonna take a little break from making videos. Maybe if I have the time, I will do it before I leave for my trip, but on Saturday, otherwise on Saturday. So yeah guys, that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed the test we did with the ARC Sub Gen 3 and ARC Ultra versus the Sub Gen 4. If you have the setup, the ARC Ultra and the Sub Gen 4, what do you think about it? And have you compared it to your old ARC with the Sub Gen 3? How do you feel about that? And yeah, if you have any other tests you want me to do, give any suggestions in the comment section, and I will definitely try to do any tests you guys want. And as always, subscribe, like, comment, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.